Hey friends, Mark here, and this is the Music Rundown. Back in February, I drove 7+ hours to a casino resort in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan to see my favorite band playing there 2 nights in a row. The venue is called the Island Resort and Casino in Harris, Michigan. For us, coming from Indiana, where we live just 2 miles south of the Michigan state line, it is so far north it was faster for us to go through Illinois and Wisconsin to get there. The casino was small, mostly slots and video poker. The food was kind of mediocre and there were not many choices. This casino had one spot for breakfast, one spot for lunch, and for dinner you could choose between the lunch spot again or go up to the 12th floor where they did have a steakhouse, but we didn't eat there. This casino was in the middle of nowhere with nothing around it for miles. It is a total destination getaway. Ultimately, we didn't go there to experience dining at its finest or gamble away our savings. We went there because my favorite band, 38 Special, was playing 2 nights in a row, and I just could not pass that up. When we planned the trip, I suspected, with the band playing there 2 nights in a row, the chance of running into a band member or crew was higher than the almost zero chance at a one-night show, where as soon as the show is over, the crew is racing to get packed up and on the road to the next destination. Our room just happened to be on the second floor with the loading dock outside as our view. Under normal circumstances, this loading dock view would result in a 1-star review for the hotel. But for us, it was a source of entertainment as we watched the trucks come in with the stage gear, and the tour bus was parked in plain sight with the occasional, mostly roadies and crew, coming and going. From the moment we arrived, I was teasing my wife with, "Hey, look over there, it's so-and-so." She would look, and of course they were not really there. I did this to the point of exhaustion, and she would just roll her eyes and say, "Stop it." Friday morning, we went to the breakfast restaurant, which was pretty crowded when we got there. When we sat down at our table, a quick pan of the room left me disappointed. No sightings. We finished eating our breakfast and were just kind of chilling out, drinking coffee. It was pretty late in the morning, maybe 11 o'clock at this point. The restaurant was starting to clear out as most folks seemed to be in a hurry to get to the slot machines. In an exercise of the principles of line of sight, a couple of key tables had left, and out of the corner of my eye, I spot a familiar face on the other side of the room. I told my wife, "Honey, over there, it's Barry." Barry Dunaway plays bass for 38 Special. She gives me the "that's getting really old" eye roll and says I'm not looking. I said, "Honey, no, really, it's him." She looks over. "Okay, it's him. Are you going to go talk to him?" I said, "No, I'm not going to bother him while he's eating. Maybe if he walks out this way, I'll ask him if he would mind taking a photo with us." It was just a very short time and Barry began to get up from the table. Up until now, the person he was sitting with had their back to us and was wearing a baseball cap. That second person got up and turned towards us, and I immediately felt the tingle of my nerves ticking up a notch. I said, "Honey, that's Jerry." Jerry Riggs plays lead guitar for 38 Special. Now, I'm a pretty chill dude. Not much bothers me or gets my nerves going, but at this moment my nerves were in high gear and kicking in the overdrive. They walked toward us, and I stood up. As they came closer, I said, "Hi, Jerry, we're huge fans. Would you mind taking a photo with us?" He said, "Sure." So I handed my phone to a neighboring table who seemed perplexed that I just handed them my phone, assuming they would take the photo. I did ask them if they would take the photo, but in a not really asking kind of way. Jerry and Barry were the nicest, most down-to-earth guys you could imagine. We chatted for a few minutes. I geeked out a lot. I showed Jerry a photo of my 38 Special autographed guitar that they had signed for me last year. It was pretty rough when I had them sign it, but since then, I've had it finished and it's shiny and new. Thought he might like to see the finished piece. Soon I'll do a video on my quest to get this guitar and have it signed. The folks that we had asked to take the photo kind of stole Barry away once they found out who he was, so I chatted with Jerry a bit. After a few minutes, I wound it up, wished them well, and let them get to their day, not wanting to disrupt much of their time. This was a few moments for them, which they probably don't even remember, but for us, it's a lifetime memory. So, huge shout out to Barry and Jerry for taking the time to chat with us and just make it a great day. 38 Special has been my favorite band for most of my life. Needless to say, my review may be a little biased, but man, do they bring the thunder. The show starts about 10 minutes prior to the actual showtime with the stage coming to life, the fog machines engage, the lights start doing their dance to AC/DC Thunderstruck. A side note, it would seem that more than a few bands use Thunderstruck to get the crowd pumped up. I wonder what AC/DC will use. We'll find out in May when AC/DC plays at Soldier Field. Then we get to the semi-official announcement from Don Barnes. This clever and witty intro really sets the tone. I'm surprised more bands don't do something like this.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is a semi-official announcement. We were holding out for an official announcement, but semi-official is all they had left, so the announcement will begin now. If you're wandering around outside the venue, talking amongst yourselves, drinking beer, or trying not to inhale that last puff before entering, you need to get to your seat now because it's almost showtime. That's right, over 100,000 watts of power unleashed with the great American thunder of 38 Special in 5 minutes. I repeat, 5 minutes. So consider yourselves informed of this important semi-official announcement and welcome to the show.
Their entrance is simple. The guys walking out on stage, taking their place. Don does a little whirl to check if everyone is ready, and they launch into rocking into the night. The show is literally a set full of radio hits from the 80s. And I absolutely love it. The growling guitar tone that comes out of Don's guitar moves me. I'm on a quest to get the lowdown on Don's rig. There's not much information out there on the internet. I hope to find out just how he gets those tones. 38 Special played 2 nights in a row and it was the same set both nights. But that just doesn't matter to me. The set list focuses on songs that feature Don on vocals. Back in the day, Don would trade off lead vocals with Donnie Van Zandt. Donnie retired from the band in 2013 due to medical issues of inner ear damage. They do play one song that was recorded with Donnie on vocals, Honky Tonk Dancer. Bobby Capps takes the lead vocal for this during the show, and man, does he have some pipes.
That's what you are, you're a honky-tonk, nighttime dancer.
Bobby also takes the lead on Second Chance, which was on the Rock and Roll Strategy album. This album was recorded in 1988 during what was a break from the band for Don Barnes. 38 Special brought in Max Carl, who played in Grand Funk Railroad, to take some of the vocals that Don used to do. In addition to Second Chance, Max Carl wrote several other songs on the Rock and Roll Strategy album. Bobby isn't the only one to get the spotlight. If you're old enough to remember a movie called Heavy Metal that was released in 1981, It opens with a space shuttle that launches a car out of the cargo hold. As the car spins through space, speeding towards Earth, the song Radar Rider is a fast-paced rock jam recorded by Jerry Riggs under the band name Riggs. During 38 Special's show, Jerry gets the spotlight and they play Radar Rider with Jerry on vocals. After Radar Rider, they play the instrumental song Heartbeat, which is also from the movie. Then we get down to the final numbers of the show. Caught Up in You, Chain Lightning, Hold On Loosely, and a final number, Travelin' Band, originally by CCR. After that final number, Don, Jerry, and Barry spend a few minutes walking the front of the stage, shaking hands, handing out guitar picks, and thanking the fans for coming to the show. Folks I meet sometimes tease me about my love for this band, to which I say my favorite band has been there quite literally my entire life. Yes, they have changed personnel over the years, and yes, Don Barnes is the only original member still active in the band, but there aren't really that many bands who have stayed together and continued to tour for 50 years. I won't share the details, but many of the big moments in my life are also tied to various 38 Special songs, so each time I hear the song, it takes me down memory lane. I will talk about one song that absolutely inspires me. The song is Hearts on Fire. The lyrics of this song absolutely move and motivate me in business and in life. When Don belts out, "People want to say what I should be, why can't they leave me alone?" And this entire verse coming up here moves me in my business pursuits. It goes, "You can try for what you want and get what you deserve. Don't let go of your dream. When you bet your life, you can have it all. When it's do or die, there's no in between." I've seen 38 Specials so many times over the years that I've lost count. But if I had to guess, my number is probably in the 50 or 60 range. And I will continue to go as many times as I can. P.S. On a side note, this is the front of house sound engineer for 38 Special. His name is John, and he is the best front of sound guy in the business. If you go to a 38 Special show, stop by the sound booth and thank him for the efforts that he puts in. P.S.S. This is Braden. Most commonly, you'll find him at the merch table, but he also does a bunch of other stuff for the band behind the scenes. He's super friendly, and he loves chatting with the fans. Next up for me, 38 Special playing in Des Plaines, Illinois on April 4th. Maybe I'll see you there.